Nothing can hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. You know, like I said, I had to step back, regroup, get a new team, and came back strong.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to be Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff.
Why is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years type shit.
Floyd Mayweather fired back after Terence Crawford recently claimed that he believes he is the superior fighter. Top champions like Dmitry Bivol, Alexander Usyk, and Artur Beterbiev have all shared the opinion that Terence Crawford stands as the top pound-for-pound boxer in the sport today. They pointed to his complete skill set, his ability to adjust during fights, and the way he continues to dominate elite opponents in different weight divisions.
Crawford is amazing, not just good, he's amazing. And
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
really? Is that good?
How to learn boxing, you know?
Really?
For me, pound for pound, #1 is Terence Crawford. I like this man, it's a great fighter. I think it's Crawford first.
Terence Crawford also explained that he never imagined a fight against Floyd Mayweather because he always looked at Floyd as someone he respected and supported. He said he was a true fan and never saw himself as a person who judges other fighters. Crawford made it clear that he never viewed Mayweather as a dream matchup because treating another boxer like a rival for no reason felt more like jealousy. And he said he never had that feeling toward Floyd.
That type of guy, I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I never even thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, he did that. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person.
Meanwhile, Max Kellerman explained that Floyd Mayweather has a much deeper resume with bigger names and more accomplishments throughout his career. Still, he mentioned that many people believe Floyd carefully picked the timing of certain fights after moving up from lightweight. Kellerman said Mayweather had elite speed, defense, and talent, but some critics feel he avoided specific opponents during their best years. He added that Terence Crawford, despite having a shorter resume, has always shown a willingness to face anyone at any moment, which supports his case as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters.
Because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to
Bob Arum also gave his opinion on a prime against prime matchup between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Bud Crawford, saying he would pick Crawford to win. He described Crawford as a special fighter with movement and skills that most opponents are not prepared for. Arum also praised Crawford for smoothly switching stances and said that ability combined with his versatility makes him a very difficult challenge inside the ring.
Who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather, prime for prime?
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, you know, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. And, I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
Jim Lampley was asked how Terence Crawford at 147 would match up against Floyd Mayweather in his best years, and he said it would have looked very different. He explained that unlike Errol Spence, who believed he could compete with Crawford offensively and later realized otherwise, Floyd never approached fights in that way. Mayweather always saw himself as a defensive counterpuncher instead of an aggressive attacker, no matter what happened in fights against opponents like Diego Corrales. Lampley said Floyd controlled fights in a different way while Crawford brought a more explosive and damaging style into the ring.
That's a completely different fight, all right? Because Spence has been given to believe that he's every bit as good an offensive fighter as Terence Crawford or anybody else that he's going to be in with. So he learned something different Saturday night. But Floyd Mayweather never disabused himself of the understanding that he was a more of a backup counterpuncher than a go-forward counterpuncher, regardless of what he did to Diego Corrales. And that's a different kind of approach and effect than what Crawford achieved the other night. So that a Floyd Mayweather beatdown or one-sided win was much more of a paint job than what Crawford put together.
Timothy Bradley also shared his thoughts on a possible Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather matchup, saying that while Floyd is one of the greatest fighters ever, he would still lean toward Crawford. Bradley explained that Crawford adaptability, counter-punching and stance switching would create serious issues for Mayweather. He also mentioned Floyd's difficult moments against Zab Judah and said Mayweather sometimes struggled with southpaws by overreaching with his right hand. Bradley added that making that mistake against a sharp counter-fighter like Crawford could lead to Floyd getting caught and even hurt badly.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand, the way he reaches with that.
Terence Crawford later responded to the constant comparisons with Floyd Mayweather by saying Floyd was the greatest fighter of his era while he sees himself as the greatest fighter of this era. He also said their careers should not be judged side by side because they succeeded during different periods, and that makes both of their legacies special in different ways.
I'm going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
When Terence Crawford was asked who would win against a prime Floyd Mayweather, he confidently said that he would win without question. He admitted that Mayweather is one of his favorite fighters, but said his belief in himself never changes, and he will always trust his own talent above anyone else.
I think wins in a fight, you or prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Terence Crawford also gave Floyd Mayweather credit by saying that even in a prime fight against Manny Pacquiao, he believes Floyd still would have won. Crawford said Mayweather ruled his era and felt that nobody at 140 or 147 could defeat him during his peak years. He also respected Floyd's dedication and said boxing was not simply training for him because it was his entire life and his mission from day one was to become the best.
Interview Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it? I mean, what? Because and I told people to say, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd is not that he trains. I mean, it's his life, and from the very beginning, he said, I want to be the best.
After losing to Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez was asked to compare Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr., and he answered by saying Crawford is a much better fighter. He explained that Crawford's overall abilities and skill set reach beyond what Floyd displayed during his time in the ring.
can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can?
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Shane Mosley also entered the Crawford and Mayweather discussion and said he believes Terence Crawford is a stronger fighter. He explained that Crawford's size, reach, and movement across different divisions make him a more complete boxer. Even while respecting Mayweather's skills and unbeaten record, Mosley said Crawford's physical advantages and ability to adapt would be difficult for Floyd to handle in a direct matchup.
Who's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Showtime analyst looked at the Crawford and Mayweather debate by separating greatness from being the better fighter. He said Floyd has the stronger legacy and resume, which gives him the edge in greatness, but argued that Crawford has recently proven himself as the better fighter through his latest accomplishments. He compared Crawford's rise to Sugar Ray Leonard returning after a long break and beating Marvin Hagler. He also pointed out that Crawford had never fought at middleweight and only had one fight at super welterweight before moving up to challenge one of the greatest champions in boxing history. He said taking that kind of risk is something Floyd Mayweather likely never would have done.
Why is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years type shit.
Redmond Edwards said a fight between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather would have been extremely competitive because both fighters shine in different areas. He also told fans to stop making non-stop comparisons and instead allow Crawford to enjoy his own success. Edwards added that the fight never felt realistic because they came from different generations, with Floyd tied to one era and Crawford being much younger. He also criticized how some legends like Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. have spoken against each other and said younger fighters watch them closely, making that type of behavior a bad example.
Remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
yeah, what was Canelo? What, 21? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young.
Jeff Mayweather looked back at Floyd Mayweather fight against Canelo Alvarez and reminded fans that it ended as a majority decision, mostly because one judge, C.J. Ross, scored it even while the other judges clearly favored Floyd. He also mentioned that Canelo lacked experience at the time because he was only 23 while Floyd was 36 and still performing at a high level. Jeff said that despite Floyd's dominance showing, the younger Canelo still tested him and showed signs of the danger and talent he already possessed. Sean Porter also addressed the comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, saying there is no easy answer when discussing who would win. He praised Crawford as a smart problem solver with elite boxing intelligence and compared him to a chess player in the ring. Porter added that Crawford belongs in conversations with Floyd, but said every generation has a one-of-a-kind great fighter, and in his opinion that fighter is Floyd Mayweather.